Do you believe that the chosen ones can have some kind of superpower? Can our minds do paranormal things? Can the chosen improve their psychic powers? Psychic powers are things like the ability to connect with other dimensions, perform feats that science can't explain, or even predict things that haven't even happened yet. In fact, any material, spiritual, or mental power is considered psychic power. But you have to be very careful with these powers, because we're talking about the forces of the universe, which can be very dangerous if you use them in the wrong way. So, what are the psychic superpowers that the chosen ones can awaken, and how can all this be done? If you faithfully believe in these things, you might like the theme of our video today. Welcome to the Shielded Mind channel. I'm George. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Like the video and turn on notifications to keep up to date with the channel's news. Do you feel you have the gift of connecting with higher spiritual dimensions? Let's explore a gift that many chosen ones claim to have: mediumship. Some are born with this ability naturally developed, perceiving and exercising this gift with ease. Others perceive these abilities, but face difficulties in developing them, sometimes only emerging at more mature stages of life. Regardless of when it manifests itself, the signs of mediumship can be disconcerting and even frightening for those with little knowledge of the subject. This psychic power allows us to sense and mediate between the physical world, where we living beings inhabit, and the spiritual plane. It is crucial to understand that spiritual influences can impact our physical and mental well-being, so it is essential to seek guidance from someone experienced in the subject. Mediumship, when developed by the chosen ones, is more than a gift. It is a divine calling that permeates the boundaries of the physical and the spiritual. This superpower is granted to individuals who are destined to serve as bridges between the earthly and spiritual worlds, facilitating deeper and more meaningful communication that transcends ordinary human limitations. For the chosen ones, mediumship is not just an ability to communicate with spirits or entities from other dimensions. It is a tool for transformation and healing. They are able to receive divine messages, spiritual guidance, and even premonitions that can be crucial to the advancement and well-being of communities and individuals. This ability often comes with great responsibility, as it demands of the chosen medium a deep integrity, ethics, and a heart for selfless service. In addition, mediumship in the chosen ones often manifests along with an extraordinary sensitivity to the energies around them, allowing them to discern not only hidden intentions, but also the unspoken needs of the souls seeking help. This power also facilitates a deeper healing process, where spiritual and emotional blockages are identified and dealt with, promoting liberation and inner peace for those touched by their grace. All the chosen ones are sensitive to the influences of spirits, but it is up to each one to choose the type of discarnate with whom they share the mental field. An aggressive individual will be open to violent suggestions from a rebellious spirit. We tune in according to the thoughts we cultivate. Mediumship is a sacred phenomenon, reserved and protected from casual or careless interaction. The term sacred denotes something that is inviolable, an aspect that should not be accessed recklessly or lightly, in direct contrast to the profane, which is not surrounded by such spiritual protections. In this way, mediumship requires special care, like that given to fragile objects. This reverence and caution is essential for all the chosen ones, but particularly vital for those who do not yet recognize or understand the spiritual influence they receive. Such care prevents unwanted manipulation by lower spirits and helps maintain the chosen one's purity and integrity in their spiritual mission. Let's imagine one of the chosen ones walks through a place full of negative energies and inadvertently tunes into the spirits in that environment. he could become withdrawn or even depressed without understanding why. Now consider a group of chosen ones gathered to discuss a crucial mission of benevolence, and suddenly misunderstandings and disharmony emerge among them. In both situations, there is a combination of both incarnate and discarnate thoughts. Therefore, mediumship, being a sacred and inviolable tool, demands that each chosen one takes extremely responsible care of their own mental field and the vulnerabilities it can expose. Such zeal is fundamental to maintaining the purity of their mission and the effectiveness of their spiritual work. Among the chosen, the ability to perceive and interact with spiritual energies is not necessarily linked to a specific religion or doctrine. It transcends creeds, ethnicities, geographical or temporal locations, and social conditions. This ability is a form of perception that generates a phenomenon of magnetic attraction, similar to that of a magnet, capable of capturing the auric field of people, whether living or deceased, objects and environments, both physical and spiritual. The chosen ones act as bridges between the physical and spiritual planes, experiencing phenomena that, although recognized and studied within esoteric contexts, often still find no explanation or validation by traditional science. This puts them in a unique position to explore and mediate on the complexities of the material and spiritual worlds, using their abilities for the greater good and the evolution of their own soul and the community around them. How to identify if mediumship is manifesting? There are some clear signs. One is the sensation of invisible touches. Many of those chosen report feeling touches, even when no one is around, a subtle communication from spirits who wish to interact. Another sign may be the ability to intuitively discern lies. Mediums often hear that something is not true, perceiving fallacies with no logical basis, as if they felt the spiritual field of the person speaking. In addition, it is not uncommon for mediums to hear voices calling out to them, especially those who have not yet balanced or recognized their gift. This superpower, therefore, sets the chosen ones on a path of many challenges, but also of immense rewards. Through their special connection with the divine, they are able to bring light where there is darkness, offer hope where despair reigns, and guide lost souls back to the path of redemption and higher love. Ultimately, the mediumship of the chosen ones is a living testimony to the power of spirit over matter, of the eternal over the ephemeral. Let's now explain the four most intriguing mediumistic superpowers among the chosen ones, the last of which is the rarest to occur. Have you ever heard of psychometry? Did you know that clothes and other objects carry energy? This faculty was studied in the 19th century, and the term was coined in 1849 by the American doctor Joseph Rhodes Buchanan, who researched and carried out a series of experiments with sleepwalking patients over several years. It is covered in some works of the Spiritist doctrine, and is already known to science and used in police investigations and archaeological research. Psychometry is an exceptional gift granted to the chosen ones, which allows them to access memories and sensations imprinted on objects or people simply through touch. It is the mediumistic capacity of sensitivity, which, when in contact with objects, people or places related to past, present, and even future events, attunes itself to them in such a way as to describe them accurately. When a chosen one touches an object or person, they can visualize the associated memories, unraveling hidden stories or even locating missing persons and solving mysteries. In the process, the chosen one holds an object, closes their eyes, and begins to carefully explore its texture and composition, connecting to the energies that permeate it, be they thoughts, emotions, or visions. This power is not just a talent, but a powerful tool that requires intense study and concentration to perfect. There are guidebooks and sacred texts that guide the chosen ones on how to master this ability, transforming it into a bridge between the visible and the invisible, the material and the spiritual. Have you ever considered that helping the police with paranormal abilities could be an expression of charity by the chosen ones? Arthur Conan, a visionary British writer, predicted that in the future police officers could benefit from the assistance of mediums to solve crimes. This vision has materialized, as demonstrated by U.S. shows such as Medium and Psychic Investigators, which reveal some of this interaction between the paranormal and criminal investigation. Among the chosen ones, there are those who have already collaborated with major agencies, including the FBI and the CIA. Mediums such as Sally Heading, Noreen Renier, and Alison Dubois are notable in this field, having helped solve hundreds of cases. These partnerships not only solve crimes, but also broaden our understanding of spiritual reality. Psychometry is very much a part of Hollywood movies today, and for the vast majority, due to lack of knowledge, it is passed off as a lie. To cite just one Hollywood example, watching the movie Star Wars: The Force Awakens, there is a scene that portrays exactly the phenomenon of psychometry. In this scene, the character Rey is taken to a secret location where there is a chest containing the lightsaber of the Jedi Luke Skywalker. When she touches the object, she instantly begins to have detailed visions of moments experienced by its former owner. These narratives, portrayed in series and stories, help us to understand psychic abilities as a natural faculty, far removed from any stigma of illness or deception. They show that for the chosen ones, using their abilities to assist in justice is a way of practicing charity, bringing light and resolution to the mysteries of the material world through their deep spiritual connections. Clairvoyance is one of the most heavenly abilities reported among the chosen, representing the ability to access information about people, objects, places, or events in a transcendental way. This gift involves telepathic visual perception, allowing the chosen one to anticipate future events or visualize auras and spirit guides. Many believe that all the chosen ones are born with clairvoyant potential, but this ability is often suppressed by the influences of the physical world as we grow up, and only a few chosen ones develop it. It is a divine manifestation that transcends ordinary sensory perception, allowing them to see beyond physical and temporal barriers. This spiritual gift is one of the most striking facets of the chosen ones, as it gives them the ability to perceive events, energies, and spiritual presences that are invisible to most people. The chosen ones with clairvoyance are able to access visions of possible futures, deeply understand karmic and spiritual relationships, and receive insights into the divine purpose of individuals and situations. This gift is not only a predictive tool, but also a powerful means of healing and guidance. Through clairvoyance, the chosen ones can identify energetic blockages in people or places, perceive the origin of emotional or physical imbalances, and provide profound spiritual solutions. In addition, clairvoyance plays a crucial role in leading and guiding communities. They can see the connections between seemingly unconnected events and warn of upcoming spiritual or material challenges, preparing people to face them in a way that is aligned with higher forces. The basic difference between clairvoyance and clairvoyance is how far the chosen one can see, with extrasensory perceptions on this plane and in the astral. Clairvoyance is a broad vision, with details and more connection time, while clairvoyance is just a glimpse, a flash, which most of the time is not controlled by the person and requires a lot of training and concentration to happen. Clairvoyance occurs through the spiritual plane and is born with the chosen ones, coming from past lives. In short, clairvoyant chosen ones are individuals endowed with some knowledge that is not their own, but comes from previous existences and from the spirits with whom they communicate, often through dreams. In other words, clairvoyance is in the collective unconscious and can be developed and improved. However, it is not a quick process. On the contrary, it requires dedication, time, and commitment. One of the ways to awaken clairvoyance is through meditation. With this technique, there is an immense gain in harmony, intuition, acuity, and balance, essential characteristics for mediumistic ability. It's important to note that only with a lot of practice will you be able to see beyond what you see distortedly on the physical plane, so that you can clearly observe what is happening on the spiritual plane. Choose a quiet place where you won't be disturbed and do some stretching to help your energy circulate better. Stay relaxed and choose a scene to focus on. It could be a beautiful painting or drawing, a work of art, or an object you cherish. Anything that brings you good feelings, peace, and stimulates your vision. Concentrate on this object for a while, until you feel in harmony with your inner self. Then close your eyes and meditate on it, mentally recapitulating every detail you can remember. Then open your eyes and look at the object again to find important details that you missed while your eyes were closed remembering it. This is a great technique for developing clairvoyance because it stimulates the third eye, one of the main mechanisms of clairvoyance. At the center of our brain, the pineal gland is known as the third eye, a portal to perceptions that go beyond the tangible. Despite controversy about its function, many consider it essential for spiritual awakening, acting as a window to dimensions beyond our usual understanding. For the chosen ones, it is possible to activate clairvoyance and awaken the third eye through practices that strengthen the spiritual connection, such as expanding perception and moving the energies of the chakras, transforming the pineal gland into an antenna capable of receiving information from other spiritual realities. The frontal chakra is the chakra of the third eye. Sharpening it will help you expand your capacity for spiritual perception and assimilation. There is a very simple exercise consisting of moving the chakra's energies that you can do to stimulate it. As in the previous exercise, go to a quiet place, stretch, and enter a state of relaxation and peace. Sit down comfortably, close your eyes, and start mentalizing a bright spot on your forehead, between your eyebrows, which is where your third eye is. Concentrate on this light for a while. Repeating this technique daily is one of the best ways to develop clairvoyance. At first, you can spend 3 to 5 minutes concentrating on the bright spot on your forehead. Gradually increase this time to 7 to 10 minutes, and so on. Over time, you'll start to feel a slight pulsation in the area, showing that you're on the right track. The last psychic superpower in our video is psychokinesis. This ability is very common in movies and boils down to being able to move objects using only the power of the mind. This is very common in fictional movies, where people use the ability of the mind to move matter. From this phenomenon, we can perceive psychic photographs, bending of metals, movement and displacement of random objects, such as doors opening, lights flashing. In short, various possibilities. Anyone with a strong mediumship and willing to learn can use this gift. Many parapsychologists claim that psychokinesis doesn't exist, but there are different interpretations and various strands to the subject, not least because psychokinesis is much less studied than telepathy and clairvoyance. The term psychokinesis was coined in 1914 by American author Henry Holt and popularized by American parapsychologist J.B. Rhine in the 1930s. Since then, there have been many chosen ones claiming to be able to move things with the power of the mind, but many of them have ended up being disproved. It's important to recognize that throughout history, there have been many who have falsely claimed to possess psychic powers, only to be debunked later. However, this does not invalidate the real existence of these abilities. Among the chosen ones, psychic gifts are authentic and proven by countless phenomena, not yet fully explained by conventional science. These powers are true manifestations of their deep spiritual connections, and serve as tools to fulfill their divine purposes on earth. Have you ever been able to move something with the power of your mind? Or on that stressful day, have you ever burned out an old light bulb or a relatively new shower? Finally, telepathy is an ability deeply rooted in the spiritual nature of those who are willing to develop it, allowing them to communicate thoughts, feelings, and information directly from mind to mind, without the use of words or gestures. It is instantaneous communication between two or more individuals, enabling one to understand the language of the other's mind. In this way, spirits project their own thoughts to the other with the intention of establishing contact and promoting influence. This form of communication transcends linguistic and physical barriers, serving as a powerful link that strengthens connection and mutual understanding. For the chosen, mental health is not just a matter of individual well-being, but a crucial element in their spiritual development and effectiveness. Every thought a chosen one has generates an energetic vibration that resonates with similar frequencies in the universe. This resonance can attract both positive and negative influences, depending on the nature of the thoughts. Many spiritual beings, living or not, use the occult transmission of thought to offer suggestions and exert influences that can shape a person's spiritual path. These beings can be spirit guides who seek to help the evolution and protection of the chosen ones, or entities who carry resentments from past lives, seeking to interfere and harm. The impact of these spiritual influences is directly linked to the energetic quality of the individual's thoughts. High and pure thoughts tend to connect with similar energies, attracting protection and positive guidance. On the other hand, negative or disturbed thoughts can pave the way for harmful influences that divert or slow down spiritual progress. An example of this is when we think about calling a friend we haven't spoken to for a while, and, on the same day, this friend calls us. In other words, our vibration has influenced the attitude of another person who has made themselves available to connect with them. However, this is not always positive, as a bad thought can also be transmitted and picked up, resulting in imbalance in the victim and the sender of the idea. The practice of prayer is deeply valued among the chosen ones and is a daily source of countless blessings and guidance. Through prayer, the chosen raise their thoughts and intentions, cultivating feelings of love, compassion, and patience. This act not only purifies the mind, but also attracts positive energies and allows for a closer connection with the divine forces that guide and protect. Through prayer, the chosen strengthen their beliefs and renew their commitment to the spiritual path, which facilitates a positive influence on their ideas and decisions, steering them away from wrong attitudes. The power of prayer is immense, serving as a shield against the negative energies that try to divert the chosen from their divine purpose. Thus, it is essential that sincere and constant prayer be a regular practice in the lives of the chosen, acting as a vital instrument for their protection and guidance on the path to liberation and spiritual elevation. Among the chosen, attunement of thoughts is an advanced form of spiritual connection that occurs when two individuals are in complete harmony and understanding, sharing similar mental vibrations that reflect their emotions, desires, and spiritual values. This ability to tune in from a distance is often exploited by the chosen ones, who use it to strengthen bonds, offer support, and communicate on a deeply intuitive level. To establish this telepathic connection, the intention behind the transmission of thoughts is crucial. When the desire is positive and aimed at mutual well-being, the likelihood of a successful connection is significantly higher, as long as the receiver is receptive and on a compatible vibrational frequency. On the other hand, attempts to influence another negatively through thought tend to fail unless the recipient is open to such influences, either consciously or through spiritual vulnerability. Therefore, attunement of thoughts between the chosen only occurs under mutual agreement and a clear openness to this form of nonverbal communication, reinforcing the importance of pure intentions and consent in their spiritual interactions. So, my friends, it's worth remembering that not all the chosen ones can be classified as mediums because of the different degrees of mediumship present. Namely, mediumistic faculties are more prominent in some than in others. The existence of the abilities comes from the excess production of vital energy. The initial role of this production is to work on the physical development of the body. So in the first instance, the energy is directed only towards this. Only when it is in excess does it expand into the mental field, thus promoting prominent mediumship, which aims to release the energy buildup. Mediumship in children is extremely sensitive, since their growth process is active and intense, thus making them a body with a very high energy flow. It is common to find reports of children who are sensitive, intuitive, clairvoyant, and who even claim to have talked to spiritual entities. However, forcing an unnatural mediumship on people at such a young age can be extremely traumatic and aggressive due to the lack of maturity that would be necessary for them to be able to elaborate on the information and the extent of the facts. Among the chosen who have not yet fully developed their spiritual capacities, it is common to observe emotional outbursts and disproportionate reactions to everyday situations. Outbursts of anger, periods of deep sadness, and intense feelings of antagonism are some of the psychic manifestations that result from the repression of these innate abilities. In addition, physical side effects can also occur, resulting from the accumulation of energy in the various chakras of the body. These consequences arise from the lack of development of spiritual abilities. The capacities that should be used for good are being contained, leading the individual to carry an excess of energetic charge. This makes them susceptible to negative stimuli and obsessions, which seek to force the release and use of this accumulated energy in an uncontrolled way. It is therefore vital for the chosen in the process of spiritual awakening to seek guidance and practice techniques that allow them to develop their abilities safely and effectively, transforming them into tools for healing and positivity, both for themselves and for others. You may have ignored your superpowers until now out of fear, trepidation, or some kind of blockage. But the truth is that you have unconsciously decided not to use this spiritual tool. Now, if you want to use them, you need to use your free will and consciously set out to use your gifts. Did you already know about all these superpowers? Do you, as a chosen one, know someone who has mastered these transcendental abilities? Experts say that all these powers can be mastered through concentration and meditation and a lot of study. Are you ready to try to master any of these powers? That's all for today, but I'll see you in the next video. See you later, my friends.